But I think it's an important question, the one of what's going to happen. And I think that a few things have happened in the last few decades. One is that trade and globalization has led to a significant offshoring of many jobs that were in the United States, in Europe and Japan. They were labor-intensive, low-value added. Because of trade and globalization, have gone now to emerging markets, especially in Asia, China, but also other economies. And these used to be traditionally blue-collar jobs. They were labor-intensive and low-value added. So we don't produce any more T-shirts in the United States. These are going to China. And even China now doesn't want to produce any more T-shirts, and those are going to Vietnam or Bangladesh and things of that sort. But this offshoring that started in blue-collar jobs that displaced both jobs and incomes in low-value added, labor-intensive industries and advanced economies is now innovation that also extending to services. Many services now have become tradable. Financial services, call centers, anything to do with technology. And now, of course, the jobs that could be done by a call center in the United States can be done by a call center in Bangalore or in Manila. But the key point is that those jobs that are now displaced and offshored to emerging markets, blue collar and white collar, eventually might be replaced by robots, automation, or a piece of software. So today, maybe a radiologist in India, in Mumbai, can do the same job as a radiologist in New York in reading your X-rays or MRIs, but maybe tomorrow there'll be a piece of software that can do it better and cheaper than any radiologist in New York or Mumbai, and the one in Mumbai is paid 1/4 of the salary of the one in New York. Or today, the call centers are in Bangalore or in Manila, but often I use the phone and I call my AT&T service center, and rather than a human voice, there is already a machine ask me a question and I have to answer it. Call them Siri types of machines, or there are movies like Her and others that show you what happens when machines, a piece of software, can replace also humans. So I think the first stage of this transformation is offshoring of jobs from advanced economies to emerging markets, first blue collar, then white collars. But now there is also another shift that means that many of those jobs are going to be disappearing even from emerging markets. For example, in a place like China today, the iPhones and lots of gadgets, electronics are being produced, say, by Foxconn, that is a company that has maybe 1 million workers in China, but wages are rising in China, and Foxconn now is expecting in the next decade to replace those jobs with automation and robots and machines. So at least in US, Europe, and Japan, levels of per capita income are high, if stagnating, while China is still a middle-income country, or other countries are not even middle income. So the question is, what's going to happen to jobs? What's going to happen to income? Not just blue collars, but also white collars. Not only low value added jobs, but increasingly technology and software can also replace jobs of traditionally middle income kind of workers. There's a recent study by MIT researchers suggest that up to 50% of all professional categories, most of them white collar, could in the United States in the next few decades be replaced by computers, machines, or robots, and so on. And therefore, there's a question of both jobs, of incomes, and then the implications of all these for income and wealth inequality that is being increasing that inequality, in part because of trade and globalization, in part because technology is becoming more capital intensive, skill bias and labor saving, in part because in a world in which your market is not millions of people but billions, those who are at the top, the superstar, have a winner-take-all effect.